Okay, first of all, a good football game that resulted in Duke end up winning. Thought they did a good job during the whole course of the day. Thought we played well in some spurts. Actually, I thought we played pretty well in a lot of situations, but obviously we don't win the game, you don't play good enough or well enough. My hat goes off to them, and now it's time for us to regroup, get ready to go back to Scott Stadium against North Carolina this Saturday. Questions?
You guys were held without a sack and turnovers. What did they do offensively that kind of disrupted what you normally do defensively?
You know, they're a well-coached team. They got the ball out quickly. That's one of the things you can do to avoid sacks, and we did the same thing. You know, that's one of the things that we've been able to do as well. But the biggest difference is they got a turnover, you know, after the catch and fumble or whatever was ruled, and we weren't able to match that with a turnover. You know, up until the latter part of the game there, I believe 3 minutes left in the game. That was the first 3 and out that we'd have during the course of the game. So very productive in a lot of aspects, but not productive enough to qualify with points.
Mike, what caused that second timeout? Just a miscommunication there coming out of the huddle?
Yeah, well, I mean, from the signaling to inside to calling it to getting lined up. I mean, that's something that you know, coaches, we got to make sure that those things are easy enough for the players to get lined up, and it wasn't executed today, so that's our fault.
What about on the delay game on that second to last drive? Yeah, it went from
4th and 7, 4th and 8.
Yeah, again, with the, you know, I'll just say that you know, they have a 40-second clock, they got a 25-second clock. I mean, there's things that you got to teach your guys to look at as it's being, you know, being run down and be made aware of. We just, you know, just didn't get that focus that we needed to make sure that we could, you know, avoid a penalty like that.
The decision to start Matt, was that a reflection of Grayson's physical status, or did you decide to go with that?
You know, I thought Matt played a heck of a game today. I believe he might have.
I'm not second guessing.
No, what I'm saying is the decision to play him was, you know, he had a productive week in practice. If the situation lended itself to get Grayson in, then we would have done so. But as I said, outside of the first couple drops in the first quarter, which is one uncharacteristic, I thought Matt had a really good game all the way down to the end. And, you know, so we wanted to stick with him and stay with him. And, you know, obviously you'd like to have a positive result after that game, but it just didn't work out.
It seems like there were some instances where there were some openings for him to run or scramble out of the pocket. Did you notice that?
Without watching the film yet, you know, there may have been. There's always situations where you want a quarterback to be alert and aware to the sticks and, you know, what he needs. So, again, there may be some opportunities that he might have taken care of. I know we were 8 for 16 on third downs, and that's 50%. That's pretty good. Defensively, we held them to 4 for 13, and that's pretty good. So, you know, again, you come through a game where you look at total yards, almost 500 yards again. You know, you look at the guy having a career day throwing the ball. You know, it's just one of those things. It's unfortunate that you just don't come out with the win.
So was Grayson fully available? Was he 100%? Well, how would you describe his availability today?
Grayson could have played, you know, if needed. I don't know about 100% right now, but as I said, the decision was made to go with Matt. We stayed with Matt, and thought Matt did a pretty good job today.
They average them more than 5 yards a carry. Your front had been very good all year. Did they do anything different? What do you think? Why do you think they were effective there, especially late on the ground?
You know, they're a good team running the ball, you know, and they very productive in the kind of the element with the running back and Boone being able to pull. And actually, he ran the ball more times than what he'd shown in the past. And again, hats off to them for exploiting what you know, what we couldn't do or capitalize on.
Mike, had they shown Cirque throwing the ball down the goal line before?
You know, that's always, when you run that Wildcat offense, that's always, you know, a possibility. It's always something that you have to be alert and aware of. We were loaded up to stop the run, and obviously there was a breakdown. We didn't cover the guy, but you know, he did a good job showing run, and then at the last minute, you know, making that jump pass.
Boone made I guess, made the play to get them down there. Was that just a very good individual play? It looked like he suckered your defensive line into thinking that he was handing off the middle line, then a 23-yard run.
It's always, an assignment issue if the quarterback runs for, 5, 6, 7 yards, and obviously that was a big play, and have to go back and look at see where the breakdown was in that regard. But as I said, this was a game he probably ran more than he's ran in other games. They've done a nice job. I know this was a team that was averaging 30-something points, even though they got 20. Again, it wasn't good enough for us to win the football game.
Like, what was the kind of the game plan against Crowder? What did he do to kind of find holes in that defense?
Well, he's a very good player. I mean, he's a very good player, and they move him around all over the place. They put him, in motion. They put him in the slot. They just put him all over. He was in the backfield a couple times, and he's an athletic player that made athletic plays for them. That's why he's an All-American. And again, we did some good things, but at the same time, they were able to to utilize his skill set, and he made some dynamic plays for them.
Like we ask you about, seems like Miles Gooch every week, but he made a number of big plays today. Was this another step forward for him to the wideout?
As a football player, I mean, obviously he continues to get better, and it's just you're happy for the kid. I know if you ask him about the catches and things today, that they'd all give it back for an opportunity to win a football game. And so now with us, we've got to go back to work and get back to getting ready to win a football game and go back to Scott Stadium, go back home, our homecoming. Keep the energy, and continue playing and moving forward with this season.
I think you guys, after that first drive in the second half, I think you had 130 yards the rest of the game. Did they change anything up, or was it more just execution on your side from your standpoint? What do you think kind of stalled the offense there a little down the stretch?
They made some plays, and probably some of the things, with the drop pass or a penalty here and there is things that push you back, and obviously, it negates, some of the yardage. There's a lineman downfield, there's a covered up receiver, things like that can cause you to lose. And, we had a total of 6 penalties for the day, and, we hadn't been. Those are the things, the second half penalties, that when you're playing a good team and it's a close game and you go back and forth, as I said, in that third, fourth quarter, it just seemed like it was just going back and forth. Both teams making big plays, and you got to be able to overcome that, and we just didn't overcome it enough in order to give us a chance to win this game today.
Like 47 passes, only 31 runs. Was that part of the plan, or did you want to be kind of more balanced, or just kind of how the game kind of dictated things? It seems like you're running the ball fine on time.
Yeah, you look at what the rushing yards and 140. But the balance was being able to do some things out of pocket a little bit, and it just, as the game dictated, then we had to pick up an opportunity or pace to try to get the ball out. As I said, they did a good job playing defense, and we just didn't get enough of what we needed in order to pull this one out.